Hello, this lesson is on the types of questions that you will encounter in your science class and how best to answer them. So you have your Cornell notes that you've been given in class. The part that you're going to be writing all of these notes in is this part right here, okay? Do not write in here and do not write in here yet. We're going to write in that later. So at the top of the notes, you're going to put your name, class, science, period, date, and then the topic, you're going to write in question types. And then remember, all your notes will go on the right side of the document. And then this part down here, the summary and the reflection and analysis, this part we're going to be doing in class after we've had a chance to take the notes and after we've had a chance to write on the left-hand side. Also, there's a back side to your paper, so if you run out of room on the front side for the notes, just flip over and continue on the back. Throughout this lesson, you will see this sign occasionally. That means that you do not need to write what is on that screen. And I will remind you as well, but anytime you see this, that means that you do not need to write on your notes what you see on the screen. All right, let's get started. Our first topic for our notes is list. When you answer a list question, you're going to be brief in your answer, use short phrases, and usually 1 to 3 words. Let me show you what it should look like. So I've got now my notes. I have my word list is written, there's several different ways that you can make the main topic stand out from the rest of the notes. I've made it in all caps. I made it a bigger font. I also changed the color. You can, underline it. Some people like to put a square around it like this. Lots of different things you can do. And then for the information that relates to the topic list, I have bullets here that I've used to show that there are 3 different things I need to know about the list topic. And then I just wrote in normal writing brief short phrases, usually 1 to 3 words. So let me go back to that slide and give you a chance to write that down. And remember, if I go too fast, just pause it and then you can start it again. All right, going on to the next topic is describe. So describe, answering a describe question is different than a list question. With describe, you are going to be as complete as possible. You're going to use complete sentences.
Good morning,
and in this case, it's typically impossible to write too much.
First lunch
if
only.
you see on the paper that the teacher gives you 5 lines of information to write with, you should probably use all 5 of those lines, or at least 4 of them.
Are being sent to the auditorium now to start serving. Thank you.
Okay, pause it if you need more time to write. The next topic is similarity or compare. So when you're answering a similarity question, you're going to write about something that the objects all have in common. And you're going to find yourself using phrases like they both have, or they all have. They are both tall, or they all have red in their outfit they're wearing today, or something like that. Okay, going on, pause it if you need more time. So difference, you might also hear a difference question written as contrast. You're going to talk about something that one object has that's different from the other object. Okay, most of you knew that as far as answering a different questions, but here's a couple of things that you may not have thought of before, or at least consciously. You need to make sure that you include both sides of the story. For example, one object has this, the other object has that. You can't just say that one object is green. Okay, well, what about the other object? You're also going to find yourself using than phrases. For example, someone is taller than someone else. That's a good way to answer a difference question as well. And make sure that you say which one is which. Okay? If I say, well, which key is the correct key to use in the door? And you say, and for which door, room 29 or room 30, and you say the green key is for one door and the red key is for another door. Well, which one is which? So make sure that you say which one is which. Okay, pause it if you need more time to write. All right, so this slide you do not need to write. We're going to practice, okay? Which statement shows the correct way to answer a difference question? Jillian has red hair, or Jillian has red hair, Anthony has brown hair. Which one? Right, this one. Why? Because it has both sides of the story. And remember, you do not need to write that slide. Okay, how about this one? Chong is taller than Alyssa, or Chong is tall. Right, this one. Okay, because it's using a than phrase. Something is taller than something else. How about this one? One of them has blue eyes and the other has one of them has brown eyes, the other has blue eyes. Or Sheridan has blue eyes, Ricardo has brown eyes. Which one is the correct way to answer that difference question? This one? Yes. Why? Right, because it said which one was which. All right, going on to our next topic. Explain is your next main topic. Explain is different than describe. Most people, when they see an explain question, they end up just describing what happened. But explaining, you are stating why something is happening the way it is, not just simply what it is doing. And pause it if you need more time. All right, so, and this is a do not write question or slide. We're going to practice. Which statement shows the correct way to answer an explanation question? This wood has a lower density than water because its molecules are more spread out for the amount of space it takes up than the water's molecules. Or, this wood has a lower density than water because when I put it in the water, it floats. Now, this one's a little bit more difficult because both statements are correct statements. Both statements are exactly correct, but only one of them is answering an explanation question. The other one is just more of a descriptive answer, basically what they see is happening, an observation. Which one is the explanation for why the wood has a lower density than water? Right, this first one. Okay, now notice that you might not have known the explanation if you don't know a whole lot about density. So in some cases, to be able to explain something, you're going to have to know what's behind the scenes. You may even have to do a little bit of research. Okay, going on to the next topic. Predict. When you're answering a predict question, you're basically just stating what you think will happen in the future. Okay, pause it if you need more time. Next topic is justify. Okay, when you're justifying your predictions or you're justifying any statement that you make, you are telling the reader what makes you think your statement is correct. What evidence do you have? Pause it if you need more time. The last one is a relationship question. You're going to be talking about how do these objects depend on each other. When one object changes, how do the other objects change? So, for example, this would be like a generic format for answering relationship questions. As object 1 changes in this way, object 2 changes in that way. Okay? You can talk about how if one increases, the other increases, or if one decreases, the other decreases, or if one gets warmer, the other gets colder, or if they both, one gets all kinds of things. One gets bigger, the other gets smaller. How do the things, affect each other? All right, pause it if you need more time. All right, so this is a do not write slide. Which statement shows the correct answer or way to answer a relationship question? So the first statement says, these rocks both have a higher density than water. The second one says, as the pressure and temperature increase, the amount of granite that turns to gneiss increases. Okay, just don't worry about the actual objects themselves and never having heard of them. But just how is the answer phrased? Which one is the correct way to answer a relationship question? Right, this one here, okay? Because it talks about the, as this thing changes, so as object 1 changes in this way, okay, as the pressure and temperature increase, the amount of granite that turns to gneiss also increases, okay? So that's using that format, that basic generic format that I gave you in the previous slide. By the way, what type of answer is this? It's one of the 8 different types of questions. Did you catch this keyword right here? Both? Right. It's a similarity. And I will tell you that whenever I ask a relationship question, similarity question answers is the most common mistake that people make with relationship questions. All right, any questions? And, oh, by the way, this slide is a no-write slide. I just added that no-write picture. So if you have any questions, feel free to post questions at underneath this Educreations lesson. If you're using the Educreations lesson and not the YouTube channel, you can post questions. If you are, as a student, see a question and you know the answer, go ahead and answer it. I check the answers, and I will post answers every couple of times throughout the week. And if I see that somebody else has already answered it correctly, well, then we'll just leave that answer there. All right, we'll see you in class.